So, hey guys, Chauzu here. So, World Cruise is about to enter its second phase. We've finished the Power Rumble phase and we move on to the treasure map. So first, let's just talk some specifics about World Cruise in general, and then we'll get into treasure map specifically. So as you see, they've updated the total scores. Team-wise, Robin is in the lead, and Robin won big in Power Rumble. It was actually impressive to see. I was part of Robin, of course, and yeah, as you see, I did pretty well myself. Like, my rank was 23rd among everybody participating, and in Robin I was 5th. So my team was definitely very competitive. Shoutouts to Amazing, another global player who finished ahead of me. He managed to win the Blitz battle on global for the Big Brother versus Little Brother splits. You see here, he finished 4th worldwide. So yeah, he was able to farm well in PvP too. We'll see about Treasure Map and Kizuna. But I won't feel bad if Amazing finishes ahead of me. My main goal is, of course, top 10 in the end in the total ranking for Robin. Some other global players did pretty well. Other finishers in the top 10, for example, were like my fellow Passione teammate Wanu also finished that. Shoutouts to him. And I saw a guy from TRA, the Revolutionary Army, also finished top 10 in Luffy, even top 5, third place even. So that was very cool. There are surely a few more, but those I remember off the top of my head. But yeah, of course, we're entering treasure map now. And if you look here in the individual ranking, you'll see that treasure map will now have a 2 times multiplier applied. So that means that whoever wins will not get 100 points, but they will get 200 points. And the same goes for every step here. And it's going to keep increasing for the Kizuna, where it's 3 times multiplier. So this means that treasure map is more valuable, but treasure map will also be harder. Like cheaper in gems, at least spent during an event, you might need to use some gems to pull, so to say. But it will need a lot more time investment. Overall, top 10 in treasure map will be harder than top 10 in PvP. And by that, I'm not saying top 10 in PvP was easy. That was already a challenge. We might have got some help by the fact that JP has had major server issues the past week. And yeah, that community is not very happy. Not just for that, but like everything in general in terms of bugs and issues like that. JP players are not happy at all. Anyway, as for why treasure map is going to be hard, I got some research done by Mr. Treasure Map himself, Among Us, who has won the most treasure maps of anybody on global. And he did some comparisons, and the main culprit here again is the lag, where JP has basically no lag at all, and global has a lot of it. I recommend to you that sometime when you're playing treasure map, just look up a JP with farming treasure map, and you will be shocked by how much faster everything is. And now we actually know like how big of a difference it makes thanks to the research done by Among Us. I just want to say that this is not like perfect science. Like there will be difference depending on your own connection, the device you use, where you live. There's so many factors, but it's a good benchmark at least. So yeah, this is the list that Among Us made. And you can see there at the bottom of the screen that the total time save looks to be like 48 seconds. Take it or have it. And that's insane. We're talking about every single navigation level you do. So let's say we have the best player on global, the best player on JP. They both play as fast as they can optimally. Even in those conditions, the JP player is going to gain 48 seconds at least every single navigation level. Like there are some RNG like to the dices and such, how good luck you get, but no luck in the world is going to change the fact that the JP player will gain navigation levels faster. Just to give some example here of what we're talking about, let's take the first 100 navigation levels. Let's say the global player does 100 navigation levels as fast as they can. Let's just say it takes 10 minutes. Like, it will be faster for the best players, but let's use some easy and round numbers here. 10 minutes it takes for the global player. And let's say it takes 9 minutes for the AP player, because obviously it's faster. It could be up to a minute, depending on RNG and other factors. So when a global player has done 100 nav levels as fast as they can, let's say it takes 10 minutes per nav level, they will reach 100 nav levels. And when the global player reaches 100 nav levels, the same player playing on JP will be doing his nav level 111. So that's 11 navigation levels just for the first 100 navigation levels. And imagine then if you go to 500, which is very high on global, not many have done it. A JP player could be well above 600 then, and there are actually some JP players who have done over 600 nav levels. So JP have a super big advantage in Treasure Map. It's bigger advantage than any other mode. And it's going to be hard to compete mainly because of that. As for the rankings, like if we're thinking like top 10, for example, like I have a hard time seeing that you're going to get away with less than 400 nav levels. It's going to be that competitive. Might change a bit between different groups, but if I were trying to get top 10, I'd try and aim for 400 nav levels, that's for sure. 350 might be doable. We'll have to wait and see. JP also has a lot of dedicated Treasure Map players, which is good to know. And if you're going for even higher, like top 3 or something, we're probably looking at 500 nav levels minimum. It's going to be really crazy, this, and globally a hard time to keep up. Personally speaking, I'd love to go for top 10, but it's just not realistic when you have like an actual work with responsibilities. Like, I'm not going to take a week off for Treasure Map. Like, it's not worth it to in that extent. So top 10 will be hard for me, but I will definitely try and secure the top 50, which should be more realistic. I'm not going to give any like guesses for how much you need. Well, like, just try and aim for 200 nav levels. I think that's a good starting point if you want to get top 50. And obviously that assumes full batch. Lacking stuff, we'll need even more, of course. Because in the end, World Cruise is just basically the points you gain in-game in Treasure Map is just going to be added to a website. There's no finicky stuff like with the PvP final. But yeah, this might be disheartening, but that's just the reality of competing with JP. Just to leave this with a happy note, Kisna is going to be a lot more fair in that way. So it's a potential to make a comeback, at least, as long as you have the potions, of course. But yeah, that's the end of this video. Thanks to Among Us for this research. I didn't go through it then bit by bit, but if you're interested, the text is there to look. And I do implore you to try and look at a real JP Treasure Map run. It's a joke, honestly, how much faster it is. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. See you next time.